Have you ever thought about how city streets and parks are maintained?
You take for granted that the city's graffiti removal team will remove tagging from your home or business every day.
What keeps the orange shirt men and women so active?
Why are the South Bay Workforce Investment Board's job-finding capabilities so solid?
Did you know that our police and fire departments have heroes who are unsung?
And why is the Public Works Department so reliable?
Do you expect police officers and firefighters to be there for you in any emergency?
Do you understand how important it is that the city services remain vital?
HCTV City Services program will answer all of these questions and focus attention on how your hard-earned tax dollars are spent. Hello and welcome to City Services. I'm Camille Brown. City Services highlights various departments in the city that keep our residents active, our facilities up to date, and our city looking good. In this edition, we will highlight two divisions of the Department of Licensing and Code Enforcement. This is City Services. Can even climb into our cars to go to work. The city's graffiti removal crews have hit the streets to engage in a daily battle to keep the streets of the city clean.
We remove about 2 million square feet of graffiti every year.
Success in this battle does not come cheap. It cuts into a significant portion of the city budget.
Roughly, it costs about $500,000 for everything, for employees, staff costs, paint, graffiti removal, supplies, about $500,000 a year.
The city has a 24-hour graffiti hotline that operates 7 days a week. The graffiti staff include a supervisor and 5 crew members who depend on the public to report graffiti when they see it. The graffiti staff view their jobs as one part work and one part mission.
To me, graffiti removal for the city of Hawthorne is very important because we have a lot of families that live in Hawthorne, and I think they feel that they want some security in their neighborhoods. And with us doing our work every day, we can give them that security that they're looking for.
The city's graffiti crews have won the praise of both residents and business executives.
Graffiti removal do great jobs.
Appreciate you and keep doing what you're doing.
The graffiti division consists of a paint crew and a water blasting crew. The link between graffiti and criminal gang activity make the work done by the crews downright risky.
We get paid to fight graffiti, and that's what we do. And it's a little kind of dangerous job, but somebody got to do it.
The graffiti removal crews need public support, so use their 24-hour hotline to report graffiti whenever you see it. Next, we'll introduce you to our code enforcement staff. Code enforcement operates 12 hours a day, and the staff work closely with property owners.
Code enforcement essentially is a program that was instituted to maintain the aesthetics of the community, to make sure that property values are maintained through maintenance of properties.
Avenue that is in your city. If you could please.
Officers begin their day by checking their voicemail and reading emails. Then they hit the streets. Code enforcement officers follow up on compliance to previously issued citations, they investigate new complaints, they scan neighborhoods for violations, and they file a lot of paperwork. All of this with the goal to keep a minor issue from snowballing into a major one.
If you have a property that has a small violation, say a broken window, say overgrown grass, say trash, if you let that go, it becomes another issue, a larger issue. Then all of a sudden you start having your gang issues, you start having your homeless issues, your transients. And that becomes, all of a sudden it becomes a crime issue.
Some residents find the modifications they've made are outside of city code. And when that happens, our code enforcement officers give a thoughtful explanation and set up a plan of action.
Just need to make sure you pull a permit for the roof.
Very good. When we do deal with people, we deal with them with respect. And we treat them in the way that they're supposed to be treated.
Kraus wants residents to call City Hall before making any changes to their property.
Anything that's above 120 square feet is going to need a permit for a structure.
Code enforcement officers work patiently with the property owner, but when the negotiations break down, there is a legal recourse.
We send what's called a compliance order, and that gives you 30 days to come into compliance, or we can actually have a hearing and cite you $1,000 a day for as long as that violation occurs.
Code enforcement officers have seen a spike in illegal garage conversions and room additions and say residents should get proper permits to avoid citations.
Sometimes not everybody is a good neighbor, and sometimes you need to kind of bring it to their attention.
Graffiti removal and code enforcement are two important divisions of the Department of Licensing and Code Enforcement, but both work best with community cooperation. So when you see graffiti, report it on the hotline, and before you make any modifications on your property, contact code enforcement. That way, the City of Good Neighbors will stay safe and clean. Well, that does it for this edition of City Services. We'll see you next time.